Dio. The cancel culture just canceled Ronnie James Dio for putting up the metal horns. Can you believe it? Note that they said the display of 2 or 3 fingers, depending on what you use, is ableist to those people with no fingers. Those same people have the finger on the pulse of society as they twist and turn your reality if you so choose to go down this path of lunacy. But the left is bringing us in their daily struggle sessions. Mr. Potato Head, rest in peace. Dr. Seuss, where did you fail us? How dare you be bad at drawing? Just a rainbow in the dark. According to Loudwire, thanks to Z2 Comics, plethora of novels based on works of rock and metal artists. Guess what? Upcoming story inspired by Dio's debut album, Holy Diver. It's actually a collaboration between the company and the Dio estate. Why can't I tour the Dio estate like I can Graceland? Novel tells the story of events that led up to the scene shown on the cover of Holy Diver. That's the story written by horror writer Steve Niles. No, I want to know what happened to that. No, I don't know. I heard that the priest refused to wear a mask. That is right. And then the devil took a big piece of chain and threw him in a lake. And I heard if you take a Dr. Seuss book and read it upside down, it's no longer racist. Is that possible? I hit my free article limit, damn it. Do you live where the smartest Americans live? Do you want to know the top 10 smartest cities in America? How many times do I have to click through this to read it? Now I want to know. Minnesota, folks, how about that? Number 10. Median SAT score, 1284. What, is that the one based out of 1600 or the one based out of 2600? Oregon, Wisconsin, Kansas, Virginia, Montana, North Carolina coming in 4th. Massachusetts coming in 3rd. Utah, oh my God. If they're so smart, why would they let a rhino cuck like Mitt Romney have anything to do with their damn state? New Jersey coming in on number 1. Adults with bachelor degrees, 24%. Adults with advanced degrees, 14%. High school graduation rate, 91%. The median SAT score, 1090. Wait a minute. No, you have to take the accepted science of what happens when your balls hit the wall. On Denver's top iconic rock, it's Uno and the boys with a little accept.
Too many slaves in this world. Torture and pain. Too many people do not see. They kill themselves, going insane.
Do you feel yourself going insane?
People do not know.
How do you feel about the governor of Texas finally handing back some of your human rights back to you? You were free, now you're not free. Now you are freer than I just allowed you to be, except unless you go inside of a Target, unless you go inside of a bank, unless you go inside of a Chili's, unless you go inside of a corporation that is going to continue their corporate-led mask mandate while you stand around and claim freedom? No, I'm putting my balls in a mask and a sling. Head over to the Facebook page at John Toll Dope. I just, from 2013, The Illusion of Time. Past, present, and future all exist together. So if you're an optimistic, positive person, then you will be on the future time slice that includes all of that same thinking. And if you are a narrow-minded, bigoted person removing people and institutions and products based on your continuing speech code, then look no further than the mirror. There you are, a Maoist existing in the struggle sessions. Folks, I'm telling you right now, look at China's history. Look at what they did. Look at the shaming. Look at the canceling of history. The mass murder of sparrows because the bird was the bird of capitalism. And they virtuously killed millions of sparrows, folks. Sure, they were starving. What are we going to see? We have the ramping up of cancel culture. Everything is COVID. Everything is racist. What happens when they lose? You no longer are going to have mask shaming like we had it, or are we still going to have that as a continued... one side learned that they could take the mask and use it as a weapon that a person uses against themselves. If you know anything about persuasion, anything about marketing, a dope thread I read on Twitter at John Toll was they talked about how the Xbox turns on. The logo's on the on button. Your brain floods with dopamine. You know what is about to approach you, and then the screen comes on. There's the logo again. You are just seconds away from playing your favorite video game. Your brain is prepped. And in the same way, folks, they took the idea and the physical placement of the mask and infused it with a media hysteria driven around a flu virus that has been around us for as long as we've had viruses around us. And for, like they said, Rush Limbaugh said it. He said it last year. He said, look, if you know somebody who has been affected physically through death or a very serious illness, then you are going to have a different perspective than someone who did not lose anybody due to this virus. And you have to know at the reality of the onset of this, those of us who saw this as the coming psyop that it does, that reinforcement of your mask coming on in a state of compliance. Remember when Fauci said that shutting down the airports should not happen? Remember when they said, come on down to Chinatown and party, and then he said, don't wear masks? And then he told you not to wear masks because he didn't want everybody buying up all the masks. And then they said, what about the masks? He's like, no. Then he said yes. Then he said no. Then he said yes. Then he said, close your business, open your business, close the schools, open the schools. Why aren't we still listening? So what happens now when these states open up and people return to their human sovereignty with their God-given rights, and now they are facing a technocratic oligarchy where the corporations are going to use commerce as enforcement? What did you think the people? Did you think the people who were pushing this?
One way to celebrate a year of lockdown.
Shut up.
We get to go nuts. Deep cleaning.
No, seriously. Did you think that this was a political weapon that was effective?
Red its cheeks.
Woohoo!
It was another piece of clothing to put a logo on. You think this is going to go away? It's never. Why would the store selling masks all of a sudden comply with you not wearing a mask? It goes against the very thing that they're pushing.
Most accurate weather in DFW.
Stakeholder capitalism. That's it. And they've staken claim to your face. They've covered your mouth. They've covered your speech. They're canceling all of the history and everything that you've known and believe in. And every day the world gets a little bit crazier and your mask goes back on and you reinforce it. Because just like the dopamine floods in when you're listening to Rat or waiting for your Xbox, the dopamine also flies in, and the people who are completely locked in the flu hysteria and fear are continuing to go down that spiral. And for those of us who saw that it was a gimmick from the beginning, we would like out of this nonsense. Living your own fearful life by yourself.
Hello, dealer with snake eyes. You cross me, you realize you're hot leather, you're cold steel. You make a move, I'll make you feel like a human target in my eyes. I've got you in my sights, and by the road you will hang. It's your neck from this rat cage. 'Cause I'm a wanted man.
If you're a wanted man, court refuses to say where the Ontario judge is located. Wait a minute. According to thestar.com, this is happening in Canada, the Toronto Star. Defense lawyer says he's presiding remotely from Barbados.
You think twice, are you fast?
Not only will you not meet your accuser because it is an online nerd parasite
I'll put an end to
who is
this
also judge, jury, and executioner to your canceling.
talking.
And at the same time, they're in Barbados getting it wet. How do I get that job? Dude, I'd be like in Barbados, just like, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty.
It's your neck from this rat cage.
This seems fair. According to the Spotlight PA, their top Pennsylvania senator appoints colleague's wife to a lucrative gaming control board seat. And I just broke into that guy's home safe, and now I know which lotto tickets to buy. That's right. No. Can you rip off 4 of those number 2s, throw them away, and then I'm going to buy the next 5? Don't worry about what I know. Who am I? I'm behind this helmet. I'm a Trump supporter. Dress up like Antifa. Chris Ray showing up says, absolutely no evidence of agent provocateurs there in the false flag at the Capitol. Except for the one guy with a Trump hat who got made $70,000 filming the murder of Ashley Babbitt. You know, he sold that to MSNBC and CNN. You know the shooting where nobody runs for their lives, everybody stays around and continues to stay gathered? Nothing to see here. Literally nothing to see here, folks. Again, it is just another twisting of reality to keep you off kilter, to keep you what? Consuming this news, creating data for the AI to improve.
For wanted